Peace, and welcome. I am here with um, Miss Danielle Belton, pronounced that
Yes,
correctly,
that is correct.
um, editor in chief of one of the most important publications of our era, The Root, accomplished journalist, and all around rock star in the Black community and in the world at large. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. So for the past year, I've been doing this thing called Cook on Monday Morning. It's a
Hmm.
podcast that I started. I'm on the board of education in San Francisco, and I started to do these interviews to capture people that were like high capacity, productive, that had important perspectives on their community and the world in general. And so, being that we're in quarantine, I changed the name to Cook on Quarantine.
Hmm.
And how is quarantine going? Like, what's going on in New York? You're based in what city are you based in?
I'm in New York. I live in Harlem.
You're in Harlem. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. Um, what's it been like? How's it going?
It's been fine. I've been doing a lot more cooking than I've probably ever done in my life. Probably not since like I used to cook a lot, like back when I was like super broke, where I couldn't afford to eat out or get
Uh-huh.
carry out or any type of out. Like it just didn't happen.
Right.
And so now I'm back to cooking on that level, on poverty levels. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been doing that actually. I think I've heard that from a lot of people, and I've been trying to like make sure my produce doesn't spoil.
Yeah, no, like things I cooked so much last week that I'm actually sick of my own food, but
Uh,
I'm a decent cook. Like so
uh,
it's not like the end of the world. Like I can make most things. Like
hmm
I had a craving for blueberry muffins, so I made some blueberry muffins from scratch last night.
hmm
But it's just like my whole world just seems to now revolve around work and food and whatever's on television at
Yeah.
night.
What's changed at the root? Was it like really remote before in terms of?
Yeah, it was already really remote. A lot of our staff is scattered throughout the country and worked from home anyway, so it really only impacted the New York staff.
Okay. And how long have you been editor in chief?
I've been editor in chief since 2017, but I've been leading the route since 2016.
Okay.
Originally, I was promoted to managing editor, which for the longest time was the highest title you could have at the route.
Mhm.
And then they created the editor in chief position in 2017 after they folded in all the Gizmodo media sites
Mhm.
because they all had EICs, and so I got promoted to EIC in July
Okay.
2017.
Okay. What what's the story of the founding? Like, how was the root started? What was the objective? How was it sort of?
Sure. So the root was originally founded by scholar Henry Louis Gates
Oh yeah.
and Don
Mhm.
Graham, originally of the Washington Post,
Mhm.
back in 2008.
Mhm.
The whole idea was to create a Black Huffington Post at the time. And originally, the root had a genealogy slant because Gates, as you know, is very much into helping people, better understand their past.
Mhm.
So, he had a column um, called "Tracing Your Roots" that ran concurrently along with his TV show "Finding Your Roots," that runs currently on PBS. And it was very much about the news that was impacting the African American community on a daily basis in the era of Obama, when we first started out as a site. um we were often very back in the day it was really more of a traditional news website. So it was all about like trying to show both sides of different opinions and trying to be as impartial as you could possibly be. And then in 2016, 2017, after I took the helm at the site, I decided that in the age of Trump, that just didn't make sense anymore. Black people are not monolithic, but we do have opinions that can often be perceived that way, where it's like where everyone seems to be on the same page. Like not of course not everyone is always on the same page. Like everyone, we have disagreements. We have things we don't like. We have things that we might have difference of opinions on. But when it came to the Trump administration, it felt weird to try to do a both sides argument when, over 90% of Black people didn't vote for Trump, and it felt weird to try to have like a both sides argument, like about racism. Like, so we decided just embrace just being pro-Black. So we're going to be 100% about Blackness, about Black people's thoughts and ideas and opinions, that we were going to talk about different aspects of Blackness and where there are those points of contention and debate, but we're not going to pretend like you can be impartial about racism. Like it just, no, it's a silly argument. It's just like people who are arguing, about the 1619 Project because they feel like it's not fair enough to slave owners. I'm just like, slavery was bad. Like that's not a debate.
Yeah.
Some aren't debates. And when you entertain that and try to make it seem like it's a debate, that's where there's the problem. And so the Root got out of the whole both sides business and just fully embraced what it meant to be Black. And we've been very successful ever since we made that decision.